Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur. Hello, it's Elizabeth Bloof and welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails. Today is more of a for you kind of podcast than a for me kind of podcast, as my phone dings. I want to talk about pain, and not like bring the pain, bring the funk, but pain points. Pain points that businesses have and the obligation of professionals to solve them. And all the stuff I'm reading and doing as far as business books and listening to podcasts and all that kind of stuff comes from the perspective of the service provider solving these pain points. And I haven't seen so far anyway, something that puts some of the onus on the business owner to really take a look at what their pain points are before they meet with a service provider. Now, hopefully you've gotten to that point. Otherwise, what are you doing talking to a service provider? I mean, you've recognized there's a challenge or you want to solve a problem before it becomes a problem. But I wanted to give you some tips and tricks about how to maximize the time with a service provider so that you're not paying for time that you shouldn't. And one of the things I do on my website is I provide a chat sheet, and not a chat and not a cheat, but a chat sheet, so that before I meet with somebody, they get their brain turning over on the things they'd like to accomplish and what they truly want me to focus on. And I mean, that obviously comes out more once we meet face to face, but I just wanted to give you some tips if you're a customer and you're looking to secure a service provider or small business or what have you. So from my perspective, of course, I'm usually meeting with people to talk to them about their communications and what they'd like to achieve and what they're hoping to solve or change. And so some of the things that I ask them to start thinking about and have ready is who currently manages your online profile. And the options I give just as, sort of funny prompts. A staff member who has all the details, an outside agency who keeps all the details, or me, myself, and I in slightly Roman. And what I mean by that is that I was recently at a networking event, and two different people at the networking event got up to speak, and it was a problem and solution discussion. And neither of them knew what their service provider was doing for them. They didn't know how to log into the accounts. They didn't know what the person was achieving for them each month, or they appeared to not know anyway. That was their problem. And we did end up chatting, which was great, but that kind of frightened me. I mean, giving somebody the keys to your kingdom, your voice online is kind of scary, and you need to know who's in control of all of that. What does your online profile currently look like? So do you know exactly, what all channels you have? Have you ever searched yourself? I worked with one client and we found triples of some accounts, triple Twitter, triple Google+. I don't think double Facebook, but there was quite a lot of doubles and triples out there. And of course, if that's the profile that somebody stumbles across and there's no activity on it, then it doesn't look great for you. It looks like you're not engaging online, you're not answering questions, but somebody's created it for you, you don't know it exists. How much time do you have to communicate about your business? And the options I give here, is 10 hours a week, 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week, or sleep is for babies, so all the time. And quite frankly, if you're online talking about your business all the time, you're not working on your business, so don't do that. That's not a good idea. What do you have the education and experience to talk to your audience about? And this is one of my keys when I'm talking to somebody about building their blog process or their online information process. And I'm going to be releasing something soon that takes you through the process of figuring out what you could be talking about. So what do you have the experience and education to talk to your audience about? Just my industry plus some interesting stuff, or the options are endless. So do you have just experience in one particular industry? Are you fortunate to be in a position where you have experience in multiple industries that all link together? Do you have certifications and education on top of what is required to do your job that allows you to speak to more things? There's a real variety of things to look at there. And one of the questions I ask is, why do you want to communicate about your business? And the options I give here just to prompt thought is, drive sales and meet growth goals, connect with potential and existing clients, promote events, sales, and build online profile. My manager said I had to. So if I happen to be sitting down from an employee or with an employee on behalf of an organization and they have absolutely no enthusiasm for communicating about the business, for whatever reason they've been shoved into that role, that's not going to end well. You have to have some enthusiasm for talking about your business and giving somebody the power of your voice. How do you currently manage your contact list? Do you use something like Constant Contact or MailChimp? Have you had a custom CRM built? Do you use Outlook or Gmail? Or, as one client said to me, does my phone count? So the challenge with this is, if you haven't been managing your contacts correctly, and for whatever way you've accrued them, if it's all been through networking, if it's been through face-to-face meetings, a bit of the old-fashioned glad handing, it's fantastic that you have the contacts. But if they're not in a manageable format, if they're not in a CRM, such as Constant Contact, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, something, if you decide to move ahead with changing your website, starting a newsletter, all of those things, there's nobody to tell. It's the primo number one thing that you need to look at is get your contacts off your phone, get them into a manageable list so that you can tell people what you're doing. I told a client who, and I don't even ask me why we didn't end up at this at the beginning. It was a huge lesson for me. I just assumed because of how long they'd been in business that they'd have a significant list and what have you. He didn't. He didn't have a list. He didn't have any type of CRM, and the contacts were on his phone. And I ended it right there in that I said, you know what? I can help you with this. I can absolutely help you get the contacts off your phone and put together a list and get you started in MailChimp. But there's no point in moving ahead with any of the things I've proposed for you until that gets fixed. I don't want to waste your money. I don't want to waste your time. So we'll see where that one ends. And the last point that I put in my chat sheet here is where's your target audience and what do they look like? And I usually use that question to determine if they even know what that is. Or is that going to be part of the research package that we put together? I have written down here, I have profiles of each segment and where they engage online. I know the general likes, needs, and dislikes of my customers and see them on Twitter. Or the arrow is still in the quiver, meaning, they haven't shot towards the target at all, trying to figure out. And one of the things I would caution any business, large, small, in between, solopreneur, what have you, yes, by all means, start engaging online a little bit just to see what happens, but don't invest a huge amount of money or time or energy into an online profile if you have no idea, or online engagement, if you have no idea where you should be talking, where your customers are. No plan. Oh, such pain to fix later. Take the time with a professional, with yourself, do a value proposition, do a customer segment profile. There's a variety of tools you can use so that when you finally meet with a service professional for communications or social media or what have you, you've got some things to show them. They don't have to build it all for you from scratch. And it's not that we don't want to do that. Believe me, I enjoy problem solving and I enjoy helping people find the solutions that work for them. But I would really rather maximize our time on other things so that, I can get you busy creating content and establishing you as an expert online and what have you. So those are some of my tips. If you're at the point where you're going to meet with any service provider, these are my tips for meeting with a communications or social media person. If you're going to meet with your accountant, for goodness sake, know where your accounts are, know their access, have all that information with you. They do need, mine did anyway, they needed your business license, your registration, all that good stuff. Be honest with them about your financial goals, but have a think about it. It doesn't matter which service professional you're going to be meeting with. From a business perspective, maximize your dollar and spend some time thinking about what you need to do. Obviously, something's driven you to the point where you need to outsource a skill or a project or what have you. So make it work for you. So that's it for today. That's basically the action items. Is save yourself time and money by, thinking ahead of time. And that's it. If you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comment section. You can find me on Twitter at MCVPloof, or Instagram is also MCVPloof. Facebook is MCV Communications, or you can visit my website, which is mcvcommunications.ca. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and just know that you have the guts and glories to make your own story, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.